Today I'm going to go on the river, and I thought I'd better check my weed hatch first to see if there's anything around my propeller.
So normally there's loads of around there, but there isn't, so we're ready to go on the river.
Now it's really important that you put your weed hatch back correctly, because a lot of boat sinkings happen because either the seal on the weed hatch has perished or the weed hatch hasn't been put on tight enough. So it's really important that this happens. The thing is, the propeller is turning like mad underneath, and that's spewing up loads of water, and if that isn't sealed, the water will just go straight into your boat and you could sink it very quickly. To be extra safe, I always use my hammer that I use for knocking in the mooring pins to give it a few whacks just to make sure it's really tight.
So after a great weekend's trading, I'm now off to the Anderton Boat lift, as I'm going to go down at 3:15 onto the River Weaver.
So the Anderton Boat lift is one of the 7 wonders of the waterways, and it's an amazing feat of engineering, but I'm not going to get all technical on it all. Basically what it is, it's a lift that takes you down 50 feet from the canal to the river or back up again. So this is a gate closing behind me so that the water can equalise. It is all very slow. I think I was in the lift for about 45 minutes, so I'm obviously not going to show all that. I've just shown you some little bits to give you an idea. And there's plenty of other YouTubers that have done a really in-depth, fantastic thing on the boat lift. Mine's just from my experience of how I found it. Once the water's equalised, I can go through onto the main caisson, and what these do is the caisson is it's like a big bowl full of water, and that's what lifts up and down on the lift. So as you can see now, this is a boat going up and we're going down. So you can get a good look at what the caissons are like. They both fit 2 narrowboats in, or a wide beam. It is very slow, but it's amazing what it does, and the people that run the lift are fantastic. Really, really lovely. So that's the caisson. I've come from up there. That's the one that's gone up, and now I'm down at the bottom. So it's brilliant, really. So the water's equalised now, and the gate's going up there, as you can see. And I'm off. Here we go. Now what they don't warn you about is these gates, they drip loads of dirty, crappy water all over you, which was not very nice. It cooled me down a little bit, I suppose. Woo! Cheers, thank you, bye-bye. Now there's lots of horn signals that you're meant to know in a narrowboat, but I haven't a clue what they are, and I just honk my horn lots of times and hopefully somebody hear me and know I'm coming. Now the good thing about rivers compared to canals is, because a river is really nice and deep, you can open your boat right up, you can thrash it, and it's really good for your boat because you're constantly running your boat in idle mode really on the canals because you're going so slow. But on a river you can really open her up and make her work hard, which is really good for the engine. So now I'm thrashing it on the Weaver. My engine's going full pelt now, and I'm hoping to clear out loads of that carbon in the exhaust. The good thing about being on a river is it's deep, so my boat loves being in deep water. She likes it nice and deep. Now I apologise for this blurry shot, however I was so excited to see a little baby on the mum's back. I absolutely love it and I see it often but I never get it on film. So this is the big bridge that takes you into Northwich, and I decided to moor up because I needed to get some supplies.
So I'm going to stay here for a little bit, get some supplies, and I'll be able to go on my way. And Pudding, are you liking it, Pudding? Pudding? It's time to move on, so we're going to go further up the Weaver now and have a little bit of an explore. And as you can see with my engine, it's very, very, very noisy. I can't hear myself think with this engine on. Lots of people, they criticise generators, but when you've got a vintage engine like this, it's an absolute nightmare. So when I do actually put my little generator on for the washing machine and various things, it's a lot quieter. So all those people that slag off generators, they have no idea what it's like living with a proper vintage engine, because they're much, much quieter, especially if you get a good one like a Yamaha or a Honda. They do only purr away. So ready to go? It's quite windy today, even though it's gorgeous sunshine and very, very warm. It is very, very windy. So when you're windy on a river, it can be quite exciting. Sometimes it's like going on the high seas. So we'll be proper pirating it today.
So I'm just cruising through here near to Northwich Dry Dock, and there's some amazing boats here. Lots of things you don't normally see on the canals. Very, very different types of boats and barges. Beautiful. So this is me going into my first lock of the day. Now these locks are in pairs. There's a massive one to the side for the big ships, and then this is other big one that I'm going in. And I had it all to myself.
So this is a massive lock. It's a big one. I like a big one. You can normally fit lots of boats in, but there aren't many moving today at the moment. And the best thing about these big locks is you don't have to get off your boat and do it yourself. They're all done for you by these brilliant CRT volunteers or lockies. Absolutely fabulous. Nice lazy day for me.
So I've got my map out. So here's where I started before in Northwich when I went and got my supplies, and I've cruised all the way down. I'm currently at Hunt's Lock. Now if I carry on cruising further along, turn the page over, I'm going to get to Vale Royal Locks. They're the next set, and then I'm hopefully going to moor at Vale Royal moorings tonight, if I can get in.
See you later, guys! Best thing for me being on the Weaver is it's very, very deep, and my boat has got a very, very big bottom, and she's got a big draft, which means the draft is the part from the water down below, the bit that you can't normally see. And I've got a massive propeller compared to most narrowboats, and that propeller makes her go woo across. Hiya, you alright? Yeah, so that so they're having a big propeller. I can proper get some speed going on these rivers, which is fabulous, and I absolutely love it. So it's all clear ahead. Let's get these revs on. Come on, let's go. Woohoo! Woo! It's like being on the high seas. I'm just going to moor up here now on this lock landing, ready to go through the next lock. This is what's called a floating pontoon, and if the river rises the level, the pontoon goes up on this pole,
all the way up, and then the boat goes with it.
And earlier in the year, or over winter, this river rose really high, so the pontoons were at the maximum. But the amazing thing is, you can jump on them and you bounce up, good hell, and you give yourself 2 black eyes then. Let's go and see if this lock's ready. Yep, the lock's all set for me, because the last lock I did, they rang up and said that I'm coming through, so they've sorted it, so that's brilliant. So let's go and get the rum wench. So what time is it? 1 o'clock. Let's have a look. Oh, it's 1:38, so not bad.
So this is the Vale Rule lock, and you sort of have to go round it. One on the left is for all the big ships, and the one on the right is for little ones like mine, but it's still a big lock. So you see the locky now, he's dangling down a piece of rope, and I need to grab this and tie my centre line to it. This enables then him to hold my centre line to keep my boat close to the lock wall, because it's such a big lock. When they let the water in, it could throw me about a little bit.
So this is the last lock. We're just waiting for another boat to come, because it's quite a big lock and they've apparently just left the last lock. And then we'll be able to moor up, hopefully, the space at Vale Royal. And I'm going to stay there for a few days and have a drink and chill out and relax. Now this is a perfect place to lie on your boat roof and absorb the rays and have a bit of sunbathing. However, the roof's about 90,000 degrees. I bought all this coal because last week it was -50. Let's see what time it is now.
So we're completely in the middle of nowhere, so hopefully we'll get a lovely night's sleep.
So Canada geese, noisy twats, absolutely. They are, I mean, I love hearing ducks and I love hearing birds and everything like that, but Canada geese, oh no, horrible. But the babies are cute though, I like the babies. So I'm going to do it now, I'm going to do the engine checks before we set off, so I'll show you what I have to do that, and then we'll be on our way. So before I go anywhere, I always have to check the oil in my engine and in my gearbox, because she's an old girl and I've got to look after her the best I can. It's a little bit hairy, I do apologise. Has anybody else got a big hairy one? Right, let's get in there, let's get checking. That's quite... I can never get it in the hole. That's good. And I have to properly check because I've been thrashing it on the weaver and I need to know that she's all right. Yeah. So she's all good and ready to go. Let's get off then. Couldn't have pudding on the back of the boat yesterday, it was just far too warm. And he hates being in the boat. The boat's very cool because I have portholes and it's very, very well insulated, my boat. So that makes it really warm in the winter and quite cool in the summer. But today, it's fine. In fact, it's gonna probably hammer it down in a minute. But he loves being on the boat. Don't you put in, eh? just a bit of useless information whilst I'm waiting for the lockies. I grew up round here near Acton Bridge. I actually used to swim in the River Weaver. So this is like being on home waters for me, and I absolutely love being around here. After being stuck for 8 months up in the Pennines and that, it's so nice to be back near my family and my friends. It's great. And also I've got my second COVID jabs due soon, so that's why I'm sort of messing around this sort of Cheshire area for a few weeks, and then I'm going to head off. Not sure where yet. The year before last I did the Leeds-Liverpool, went to the Albert Dock. Last year I did the Huddersfield, came from Nottingham, Huddersfield Narrow, and then round by Hebden Bridge, Tomerdon, down the Rochdale. I think I might be going to Chester and the Llangollen this year, but I'm not sure because every time I make a plan, it never goes to plan. So guys, just so whilst I'm waiting for the lockies, I just want to tell you about these. Absolutely brilliant. Now I've had some cheap ones in the past and they're absolutely rubbish, but this, I had a brew, when I make a brew, I like fresh coffee. And I make a big cafetiere, and I always have a brew out the cup, and then I always put my spare what's left in this, right? And this is now, it's like a good few hours later and it's still steaming out. I don't know if you can see the steam. It's still red hot, right? So I can sit on the back of my boat and have one. Don't go for a cheap one. I've had cheap ones, absolutely rubbish. Go for an expensive one, and your brew lasts ages. And what better when you cruise along the canals and you fancy a brew, you're on your own, you don't want to go in the boat and make one. You just say, oh, here's one I made earlier. 3 boats in a lock. Woo!
Look at this, these are like the lock ladders to get out of this lock. Now I'm used to climbing lock ladders because I do a lot of boating single-handed, but I wouldn't like to put my hand in one of them. Ooh! Woohoo! And I'd just like to say, everybody, for those that are enjoying these videos, please press the like button and the subscribe button. That really means a lot to me. And I love reading all your comments. Absolutely love it. So please keep commenting. Thank you so much for your support, guys. So I'm all moored up now in the undergrowth.
If all them boats up there moved up a little bit, I'd fit in, but they've left all loads of twat gaps, which yeah, but I'm here and I'm ready to go up in the lift tomorrow if I can. I'm not even booked it because I'm not very organised. So another part of the adventure. So this is what boating's all about, just socialise on the canal bank. Let's see what time it is. 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, and it is, it's 4:35. Woohoo! So we're in the lift and we're going to go up in a minute.
Because you've probably seen this before, I'm just going to do it on a really fast time lapse, so you get to see me go up really fast. I wish it was this fast, I'd love it. Hey, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Losing your stomach at the bottom. But that's it. So thank you so much, everyone. And please, if you have enjoyed it, give me a like and a subscribe. It means a lot. And I love reading your comments, so please leave me some comments. Bye.